When your mind is bombarded with idealism, living through time can be very disappointing. And that's paraphrased from Ram Dass. And this is actually inspired from a discussion about Alan Watts and his alcoholism and dying from alcoholism. And so it's like, you think of this person who brings you along, and you're just like, he gets it, he gets it, he gets it, he gets it, he gets it. And then you see that the end of his life is alcoholism. Like, why did he choose that path? And that Ram Dass quote really hit home for me, and especially because that can really sum up the last 2 years of my experience. And when I woke up, and what I mean by when I woke up is, I'm not saying I'm awakened. I'm saying when I woke up, the moment I woke up, because it was actually a big aha moment for me, where just like I could see the egoic story and how it interplays and how it's put together, and knew that there was something beyond that. And it was really disappointing for me. There was so much disappointment in that. I had all these spiritual friends that I had been just telling, offering all of my ahas and all of this, and then I'm going and I'm telling them I had this experience, and and everybody, it seemed like everybody was just going, that's nice. It was just another little awakening along the way, and I'm like, no, I could see it, I could understand it, and what I can reflect through over the last 2 years is, first of all, there was that initial disappointment of bringing this to people, not everybody, because not everybody's on a path and they're not going to understand what the heck I'm talking about, but the people that I was connected to in the spiritual realm, that was just like, what is going on? And that just kind of put me back into this place of isolation, which is great because, I can look back on the last 2 years and see that's exactly what I needed, was to just go, hey, you still got things to do. You still have things to discover. And what I discovered along the way was, when I first had that awakening, I was just extraordinarily happy and free and partying. And then I started going through these depressions again, and I was like, what is this? Why is this happening? And I eventually kind of grabbed that one, and I said, okay, we're not doing the depression thing anymore, and that's been not really a thing. But still, there is a sense of disappointment with time, and I really understand that, and that was one of the beautiful ahas that I've had with my relationship with Chelsea, is that there were still aspects that I needed personally to find in what was impacting my reality, and one of them was my analytical mind. And what I thought was like my creative expression was really me still just chewing paradigm A, basically the egoic story, and trying to find, how, just like Alan would do, how the snake eats its own tail, and I would just process that way, and I wasn't getting feedback from the outside world that people were interested in this, and so it kind of led to these just being really unenamored with time. That would be the perfect way to say it. I'm just like, yeah, I get like the spiritual growth, the evolution, all of these things, but still, I'm not sure I want to be here. Like, this is kind of boring, and and I want to see more things happening, and but recognize that was still me analyzing and trying to put things together with my head, and I just kind of sum the whole thing up as it's just mental masturbation. And that was a tough one too, because I had just concluded that this is my creative process, and people who aren't interested, well, I'm not interested in their company, and blah blah blah. And discovering now how to be connected to time and how to enjoy life, how to look at it, how to reframe my lens so that it is life is the gift of experiencing me. And finding when I pull myself away from interacting, and that's what I really did a lot of, and that's what I recognize. I pulled myself away from relationships that I'm now reaching out to say, hey, do you still want to play in this reality? And taking action and moving forward. That's why things are really heating up with Paradigm B and Lensafarianism and the AHA process and the Beatitudes. And um, it's because it's getting back out, finding out another way to express my creativity. And my creativity is I'm an entertainer, and I've always been an entertainer, even though I thought for the longest time, I thought I was an educator. I thought I was a teacher. And, I can look back and even my teaching career, I was an entertainer. The very first day of school, I jumped up on the counter just to impress my students, and it wasn't me doing this like I'm going to jump up on the counter. I just let the enthusiasm run of like wanting to get this enthusiasm going within my kids and my students. And that sense moved into me doing things that left education, moved me into things like acting and stand-up comedy and improv comedy, and these kind of things is because I'm an entertainer. And really, that's all I'm saying is that there is Paradigm A and there's Paradigm B. They're both things, and I want to entertain. I want people to be enthusiastic about this other paradigm that seems to be a lot more fun. Seems to be answers to all the problems that we see that Paradigm A has going on. And I just want people to entertain those things. And that's what's beautiful, is finding these ways that I've let go of needing to hold on to my idealism, needing it to be impressed in any individual that comes along. It's like every interaction is whatever it's going to be, and allow it to be whatever it is, and don't have any assumption that I can change that. I can only be what I'm going to be in every moment. So yeah, that felt really good to share that, because that was a nice articulation. Also, just once again, somebody bringing up the idea of Alan Watts's alcoholism. And then, it's like, how could a mind like that do that? And it's like, I know exactly how that could happen. I know exactly how that can happen because I lived it and could feel it in my bones. Like, not impressed with time. I love what you've done with all the other stuff, but like time is excruciating. And it was just the fascination that I had going on in my mind, and I'm recognizing that I can change the lens, I can see it in a different way, and poof, next thing you know, I'm enjoying life. And I hope that this resonates with you, and I hope you have a most magnificent day.